Hello, water signs, my Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpios. We are about to do a collective tarot reading just for the water signs. And the spread that we are using this week is Seek, Avoid, Ally, Learn. I had to look at my positions for a second, but yes, we are doing Seek, Avoid, Ally, Learn. And the tarot deck that we are using is the Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Sturl. And I've also pulled oracle cards from the Threads of Fate Oracle in the Shadow Edition and the Work Your Light Oracle. Okay, so let's go ahead and flip over the cards and see what guidance spirit has for us this week. I say us because I'm a Scorpio rising, so this affects me too. So let's see, we are guided this week to seek, the Eight of Cups. Some emotional upgrades coming. We are guided to avoid the Nine of Swords, so don't stress about it. We are aided. We have the ally of the Eight of Pentacles, so 2 eights. And we are learning a lesson from the King of Cups. Okay, so I feel like right now, for many of the water signs, there is something that has in the past made you happy or given you a sense of fulfillment, or possibly even served as an emotional or spiritual distraction for you that needs to be done away with. That fulfillment, that happiness, that satisfaction, we are being guided to go sort of on a spiritual journey in order to find all of that internally, so that nothing outside of us can take that away. But the thing is, when you upgrade your relationships, when you walk away from someone or a way of being, or even a spiritual perspective, it can be very, very, very scary, and it can create a lot of anxiety, right? Depression is being unable to let go of the past. Anxiety is being unable to stop worrying about the future. That's how I distinguish between those two. Both anxiety and depression can be represented by the Nine of Swords, but this, I'm really feeling like it's anxiety. It's worry about what's going to happen if I actually do this, because the figure in the Eight of Cups, she's walking away from something. And if you look at how the cups are stacked, it looks like one is missing right here. So she's seeking what is missing from her being able to be fulfilled. And that's what we are guided to seek this week. But we're avoiding that fear and stress that turning things over and over and over in the mind can give us, because it can actually affect us in the physical world. You know, reality is perception. Our lives are all about what perspectives we hold and how we interpret our experiences through those perspectives. And so when you can't let go of something in the mind, it creates stress in the physical body, in your actual lived life. And so you probably know what you need to distance yourself from this week. Water signs are like super psychic, so you guys like just know stuff. You probably know what it is that has too much influence on you, whether it's a person or a situation, or a way of thinking that you have held on to for a long time. You probably know what it is, but it's the devil that you know. So you don't want to walk away from it, or it's scary to walk away from it simply because it's the status quo. It is your comfort zone, right? But growth does not happen in the comfort zone. And if you let your mind talk you out of making the changes that this Eight of Cups is indicating, you'll stay exactly where you are. So your ally, what's helping you actually make that journey in the Eight of Cups, is the Eight of Pentacles. And this is the card of iterative progress, of like consistently doing something over and over again and increasing the quality of the thing each time that you do it, because you are learning from it each time that you do it, and you found a way to get satisfaction from the doing of the thing rather than the outcome of having done it, if that makes sense. So there's something that you need to walk away from, basically. Something that needs to be upgraded in your life because you've put way too much, like you've relied on that thing outside of yourself way too much to validate you, to give you happiness, to give you a sense of love. And Spirit is asking you to find all of that inside. So when you choose to do some activity regularly that helps to support the goal of the Eight of Cups, you will find that it brings more joy into your life. It brings more of a sense of being grounded and having like solid footing under you, that you can actually stand on, walk on, and take that journey on. Because right now you're leaning on the cups, and that, water flows. It's not static. It is very dynamic, and it changes. And if you've been relying on that sort of energy to bolster your identity or your emotional state, doing something in the physical world that you can repeat is going to help you take that journey away from it. Because what you're learning now is to sort of be that emotional diplomat. I feel like for the water signs, there are people that need your leadership skills right now, or sometime this week. And the King of Cups really represents being able to handle emotional turmoil happening below the surface while maintaining a calm, cool, level-headed exterior. Of all the Cups court, the King is often described as the coldest or the most distant or withdrawn, and that's because this archetype is able to consider the emotional fallout for not just themselves, but everyone they're connected to, for every single decision that they make. And they also have the emotional intelligence to act as a bridge between people and groups that otherwise would never be able to find common ground. So in this emotional upgrade of the Eight of Cups water signs, what it's doing is it's better equipping you to lead from a place of empathy and compassion without allowing any sort of difficult or negative emotions that you're dealing with to come to the surface and affect what you're doing and who you're interacting with. But you really gotta let go of the fear of change. That's what this Nine of Swords is really reading to me. It's just the fear of changing what you know. It's the fear of letting go of something or someone that's been in your life for a very long time. And this is what you need to let go of. I mean, it fell into our avoid position this week. So if you find yourself where you know what this Eight of Cups is referring to for you as an individual, and your brain sort of starts throwing reasons, aka excuses, at you for why you can't take that journey away, why you can't upgrade your perspective, why you can't leave that thing or person behind, recognize that you're entering that Nine of Swords territory and tell your brain to stop. When I have thoughts that I don't want to program myself with, that I don't want to manifest, I just say cancel, cancel, cancel. If I can find the author's name, I will pop it down here. But there's a book that I read called How to Manifest Anything You Want in 30 Days or something like that. And that was a technique that I took from that book. Essentially, if your brain, because we can't control every single thought that we have in a day, if your brain is giving you habitual thoughts that you no longer want to maintain, that you want to release and upgrade, as soon as you catch yourself saying or thinking that thing, cancel, 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 cancel. Just start saying cancel, and by doing that, you have already shifted your brain away from that thought, and you can intentionally say the thought that you want to replace it with. So be very, very mindful of how your brain may be trying to sabotage your spiritual growth this week, your emotional growth this week, because it can and it will if you're not mindful of it. especially with the knowledge that this is going to help you just be a better overall leader and have better understanding of and control of your emotions. Do not let your mind act as your enemy, okay? The oracle card that the water signs have from the Threads of Fate oracle is Patience, and it's got a beautiful turtle shell on it in that gold foil. I hope you guys can actually see, but this is the Patience card. So let's see what the guidebook says for patience. Okay, and patience is from the Earth suit. So let's go here. All right, patience. This card brings the message that you must be patient and trust divine timing. Humans are anxious creatures. We know what we want and we want it now. But we're also working in collaboration with the divine, which means that sometimes we have to wait longer than we would like. Looking to the earth can be helpful when we are working to cultivate patience. We cannot rush the seasons. A tadpole cannot rush its metamorphosis. A tree cannot rush its growth. This card asks you to have faith that your own process is happening in perfect time. And then I'm going to read the turtle entry because that was the motif that they used. Turtle is a call towards steady determination. Sometimes people who struggle with patience decide to give up on something simply because they are unable to wait for things to come into fruition, and delays discourage them. Something to note about turtles is that their land speed is about 3 to 4 miles per hour, but their speed in water is 10 to 12 miles per hour. This is a reminder that if we are patient and wait for the right time, we will have less resistance and make more progress. The spirit of turtle calls for resolve, grit, and persistence. You can call upon turtle when you need assistance in sustaining consistent effort in your long-lasting venture. I love that. I love that. I love that. It just hit on so many notes from our tarot cards, so that makes sense to me. And our Work Your Light Oracle card for the water signs is Anna, grandmother of genius, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Let's see what the guidebook says for that one. Anna. Bobana, Bana, Fanana, Fifa, Fofana, Anna. All right, 96. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, was an ancient mystic who dedicated her life to laying the foundations for Christ consciousness to be woven through all of life. She is not widely known, but without her, Christ consciousness would not be rising as it is today. Anna represents the quiet dedication that is sometimes required to live a life of service. She represents the generations that came before that devoted their lives to dreaming a new world into being. Look at that. While knowing that they would not see the glorious end result. She represents the dutiful soldier, the unconditional mother, and the mystic who can see the thread that is woven through all of life. Anna teaches us that we all have a part to play in the divine plan. It doesn't have to be on the world stage to be significant. One person's part is not worthier than another. One person's part may be to mother their children. Another's may be to gather women in circle each month. No part is better or worse, more important or less significant. We each have within us a seed of light that we incarnated to share. Anna is gathering us all to remember and surrender to our part of the plan. And if you would like an affirmation for Anna, grandmother of Jesus, you can say, Beloved Anna, thank you for laying the foundations for the divine plan. May the seeds of light within me be revealed, and may I surrender to my part of the divine plan. So I like that. I am not a Christian. So I don't particularly like that reference to Jesus, but I think that the overall message from that oracle card is empowering. It's saying that you are no more or less significant than anyone else in the collective, and if you have to leave something behind in order to move further on your individual journey to sharing your light, to working your light, to operating at your highest and best possible self, that you should simply accept that you are significant, that you matter, regardless of what it is that you need to do in order to reach your highest potential. If that means that you are leaving behind a perspective or a person or even a physical place, you can do that and do it with confidence because it's part of your individual path. As long as you are working to operate at your highest and best and not detract from or harm anyone else that you come in contact with, especially not consciously, then you're doing what you need to do. You may fumble, you may stumble, but you're still doing what you need to do and working with the divine in order to fulfill the purpose that you came here to fulfill. So, be consistent in whatever action you choose to take to help you upgrade your life. Do not let your mind psych you out and stop you from doing that action because it's divinely led. And remember that you are learning how to embody your emotions without letting them dictate what you do and who you interact with and the quality of your interactions, because you are a leader and you are powerful regardless of what you may be feeling on the inside, so long as you do the work and upgrade what needs to be upgraded for you. Okay, be patient with it and know that the universe has your back, okay? All right, my lovely water signs, that is what I have for you all this week. If this message resonated, I would love it if you would leave me a comment and or a like, and feel free to share this video wherever you think it might be helpful, or tag people that you think could benefit from the messages being shared. If you'd like an individual one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my website, writingwithtarot.com, and you can purchase a spread, or if you have any questions or anything that you need clarified, or you'd like a custom spread or anything like that, you can use my contact me form on my website, or you can shoot me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram handle will be in the description below this box. So I will go ahead and end the reading here. Again, I truly hope that this was helpful. Have a great week, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.